Today's session is now, and I still cannot see you roughly because of the light, but in general I can say we are not hungry, so come closer if you want to. If not, stay where you are. So this session is about enhancing business process monitoring with SAP Cloud ALM. And my name is Stefanie Jänch. I'm a product manager in the area of SAP Cloud ALM for operations. And with me I do have
Milan Lötsch from SAP IT, and now known as CPIT, so kind of a customer in this position.
And he is a customer.
Yes.
Believe me, he's
well,
demanding.
yeah.
So nevertheless, I'll show something in lab preview, so you know I have to show that slide. We divided the session into kindly four steps. The first one is the motivation for business process monitoring. The second one is then the customer presentation. So how is it used by customer side? What did we provide? What can you do with it? We will follow with the product outlook and roadmap. And last but not least, a summary. So without further ado, let's have a look into business process monitoring. So what is the need for the use case? It is about identifying and analyzing critical situations during the execution of your business processes. Because your processes need to run, this is your business, this is in the end how you earn your money, how you deliver things, and you want to make sure that your customers, your goods, your services, everything is smooth and up and running. So it's important to us that we help you with proactively figuring out if there's anything you should have a look at to react on. We do this based on the one hand side with pre-delivered content that is out of the box available that you can directly use and be fully informed, and on top we also do offer you the option to bring in your own things, because there can always be certain aspects you would like to add as part of a process. In addition, we also try to do it as best as possible the now, so the real time, because then you can react to a situation. Because it's not, if there's anything in between the process, someone is waiting, and then that is nothing what you would like to achieve. This is mainly what I would say, because I usually love to just show it in the application and not just to talk about what it is. In case I missed anything, you can always ask me questions. I really would like to show give my customer the stage, then to show what we did, and afterwards I'll add further things.
Thank you, Stefanie. So, as it was said already, I'm part of the IT organization in SAP, so I'm basically in a place where you could also be in any other customer of SAP. So we operate our internal systems, some external facing as well. And as part of that, we need monitoring, observability, basically the whole set. And well, while we are just as any other customer, of course, there's a bit of a special relationship because we happen to be in the same Microsoft domain, Teams domain, and we happen to know people like Stefanie, so that's a bit. But in general, we try to act as any other customer as well. And so we did with Cloud ALM and business process monitoring. So we are a customer for, 4 years, I think, with business process monitoring and Cloud ALM. And last year, Stefanie was talking about this customer or custom-built KPI functionality. And I mean, this came also known to us. And since we already have a Cloud ALM, obviously, and we also have custom-made applications, we thought, well, why not try it out if we are using it anyway? And one of the benefits would be we can use the alerting that we have, the processes, and so we did. And the application that we are trying it on is an internal one, as I said, so it's the task planning tool. It is built upon Cloud Foundry BTP. It is a UI5 app that talks to OData services in an ABAP backend. And what we do with it is we plan tasks, as the name suggests. We have database upgrades, we have all kinds of routine activities, and as such, they require, first of all, approvals. So you need to know what needs to be done, you need to know when it will be done, and whether it's approved or not. And this could be done with an Excel, of course, and I'm sure this was the case a couple of years ago, or some Word file that grows and grows and that you email around. But since this is so cumbersome, we have built in a BTP app for that. And this is also where we saw potential for using Cloud ALM business process monitoring. And how did we do it? We have a little helper app that helps with collecting the KPIs right next to the application. And then this collects the data, puts them to the infrastructure that is not specific to us anymore. So this is Cloud ALM infrastructure in this case. And then comes back into our business process monitoring in our IT Cloud ALM tenant, and will be displayed in a nice tile like that one. And this should be something that I would be able to show live. So let's see how that works. So this is the tool that I was talking about. We are in the development system, to be quite frank. I'm not going to show a live system here. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is sensitive data somehow, so rather go with a development system. But what we have is we have a list of activities, and some of them have not, are somehow not picked up or in some kind of a bad state because approvals are missing or something. And of course, we could now use maybe third party and have somebody look at it each and every day, or let's say twice a day, and then see in emails. But this is not what we wanted to do. But rather we had this instrumentation, which will then send custom KPIs to our Cloud ALM tenant, and that is the next one. So at least if this doesn't open, oh, it does open. No problem. And this is our live tenant. And this is probably familiar to you if you use business process monitoring. I mean, all kinds of business KPIs that I, as an IT person, would have a hard time understanding. And then we have the custom KPI tile. And as we can see, there's a couple of things that should be brought to someone's attention. And yeah, and then we have the list. So it's pretty simple. It's nothing all that fancy. But I mean, what is a benefit is it was easy to implement, and also we can use what we already have when it comes to alerting. We can put this towards our ticketing infrastructure. And well, I mean, we are basically within the realm where we usually operate anyway, and that's very handy. I think this is about it. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So what was the interesting case here, why I also wanted to show or share this with you, is that this is done in parallel to an existing app. So you can also add a backend service, can add an add, and this helps you then with transferring the data. And sometimes there's a situation that you cannot change your custom app at any time. Maybe you have a freeze, you only have quarterly options to deploy anything in production. So there are multiple ways how you can use it, and then how you can also leverage from what we have from an infrastructure perspective. So let's quickly switch and also have a look what is more coming and what we also recently delivered. So, a feature that we released last week, and maybe you have not yet tested it or not yet seen, is also we have custom KPIs. They are for the moment in this separate box, you kind of can say custom KPIs, but this is nothing you would like to have. So we worked on this, and now you are also able to give your custom KPIs a home. And this is what you can do with the custom processes. And this is also the baseline of what you've seen in the keynote this morning. So first of all, you can start to create your own processes, and there's more to come what we are working on. So how is this looking like? And I'll zoom one more time, and then at least it should be fine, even for the last row, I think so. Yep, good. So here we are in the area in the Launchpad, in the business process monitoring also, and you can see the same tiles. You can also see that we do have here in the tile for the custom KPIs, and also in this landscape we have one custom KPI. This is based on the travel agency. It's a BTP application, and there are currently a lot of open travel bookings that we need to process. So it's the same way, and it's only if you look into the details and based on the ID of the KPI, this is how you can differentiate if it is a custom KPI or if it is a predefined KPI. You can use all the other functionalities. You can create the alerts. So for example, here are also some alerts open. So if I do navigate, you can see that there's a certain number of flights open with the destination Frankfurt, if I'm scrolling a bit. So here you can see there's also a filter in. So you have a lot of functionalities that you can use. And yes, I picked Frankfurt because Darmstadt isn't having an airport. So next time I will have more tailored demo data in here to show it to you. So this is a custom KPI and alert. And we want this to be part of our end-to-end process of our company. And this is or your company's process. So if you then go to the configuration area and the KPI management, in the settings area, there's now the processes. And there you do have two options. So on the one hand side, you can create additional processes, but you can also, once, for example, the custom KPI is having now or is now embedded in your process, you can also hide then the tile that we defined with the KPI, with the custom KPIs. So there's already one example in, but nevertheless, let's do one together. So we are here at the ALM Summit. And this is our end-to-end process. The process always needs a structure below, so our application is where the KPIs are then belonging to. So we will create another node. So this is our process node 1. Not too creative, but this is more about we do it live altogether. And then below that point, this is then the child node. And here we for sure take the managed travels and create this one. And you can also see, based on how it is shown, there's more that we can assign on that level. And if we go to that item, then we can add the KPIs. And these are all the KPIs that are available on the tenant. And these are predefined, pre-delivered KPIs, standard KPIs, as well as custom KPIs. So if I search for travel, we do have our travel bookings and status open. This KPI we will assign. And then we also take something, maybe the postings. So you can mix it also. So it's on you how you would like to look at how you orchestrate then the KPIs. To save the settings. And the last step in order to make it then available is to say, I would like to see this ALM Summit process node then also on the home. And as we added the custom KPI also in here, there's no need to show the custom KPIs anymore. And if I do save now, close the config panel and scroll down, we can see there's now here a new node. And if I open it, we can see that I was really creative with the name, so the process node, but you can directly see the assigned KPIs below. And you can see it's a standard KPI as well as a custom KPI in one point. So one-stop shop, you can do it, you can use it, and you can also then, if you would like to tailor it to certain business users' demands or groups, then there's also the option that you can use the access control, and then you can also make sure that only certain subsidiaries maybe of your company do see a certain part of the process. So this is all what is on top available. This is nothing what we touched. We simply offered you now the chance with the content then also to bring in your processes. What you can also make use of, and just to point you a little bit to, if you would like to start with the custom KPIs, then there's also a guided tour available that brings you through the steps. So it starts with the KPI definition in our application itself, as well as where you can find instrumentation information then in the expert portal. So if I do click next, then I'm told I should open the configuration panel. Then you proceed with the next. You can see managed components, KPI management. So we offered also some guidance on top, so check it out. You can do it for BTP-based components as well. You can also do it for ABAP-based components. So there's an interface where you then have to define your own class. There are two methods that you need to redefine, and then you can also inject and use a KPI for the ABAP-based components. So this is what is already live. So this is a production stage tenant. So I guess this is also next what Milan will have a glimpse into it. Obviously. To also add it. And now let's also take the opportunity to show you what we showed in this morning but in live. So on the one hand side, you can define your own process, but if you during implementation already defined your process, then you can also import that process from the process hierarchy. So maybe half a step back, so I'm in the implementation area. If you click on the process hierarchy, then you can see that node. This is exactly the one which was also shown this morning. So everything is existing. And this is now, if you then go, and this is a lab preview, there's no banner at the top, but keep it in mind, please, this is not yet released, but we are working on it. And then you can go to the same place. You go to the KPI management, navigate to the processes, and then there is this import button. And in the import, you can then select the respective node from your hierarchy. This is the ALM Summit 2025. In that case, we'll take the source to pay as well as the travel agency. We get a preview on how the structure will be, because in your process hierarchy, you might have more than 3 or 4 levels. Hence, you can use the preview how it would look like in our application. If you say this is exactly what you would like to use, then you click the import button. And the next step is similar to what I did previously with the custom process. This is then where you assign KPIs. You can also see by the source the difference. So the ones with source SAP are pre-delivered. Here the ones are imported, as I did not create anything custom here in that tenant. And if I now go to that entry, then it's the same step. I can select it. I can click the KPI. I can then select assign KPIs, save it, and so on. So you can see this is seamlessly integrated, and it's then one more functionality, one more offering to you that you can use. And last but not least, we make it visible, and the home is refreshed. So here we are, and you will recognize it by the 2 nodes that we do have, and only one of them is having a KPI assigned. So the idea is you cannot see a difference, it's seamlessly integrated. So let's have a look what's available then on top, or what we are working on. So from a content perspective, we are working with plenty of services together. So it's on the one hand side the batch release hub, commodity expense management, the SAP foreign exchange risk management for commodity business. So yes, we have a lot of services, but this should just give you a vision that we are continuously working on content, and that we will also support then further services where KPIs are coming from. There's also mentioned enhancements to existing content, so we are also continuously looking into the influence requests, for example, and are also then consolidating what additional KPIs we could offer in the SAP S/4HANA area, or the Business Suite 7, as well as the S/4HANA Cloud. So this is the content layer, but whenever you do need a certain content directly now, you have the custom KPIs where you can add something. So you can start it directly. From a features perspective, we are on the one hand side working on the attributes-based access control for landscape objects. This is, I guess, also something which we will hear a little bit more in the next session also here, so stay in, and then Nico will share a little bit more details on this one. So this is also something which you will hopefully have very soon also in the business process monitoring. The custom processes, we can sign it off now, so yes, it's out. That is amazing. And you already have seen that for the import of the processes from the hierarchy, there's also already a working version available, but it will take some more time that we do then. We do some testing and some quality things, maybe also stress testing with the larger hierarchies. And whenever we say we have now that version that is good, that we would like to release, then we will do so. From a later perspective, there are certain things where we are continuously also receiving feedback, and it was also mentioned yesterday, and I guess also in the morning a little bit, the configuration area is always something where we're discussing what can we do, what should we add, what should we change, how we can react to, also how our processes evolved, how the feedback is that we received. So this is something where we are continuously working on, and the other topic is then auto-discovery improvements. And just to tell you a little bit, this is We've also seen that whenever we connect the system, it's very nice that everything is done out of the box. But for example, we are thinking here about topics, maybe you would like to see which KPIs we identified, and then you would like to say, yes, this is the set, or maybe there's a KPI which you maybe don't want to activate automatically. Or the first step will most likely then be about the languages. So if you set up the business process monitoring, currently we do collect data for multiple languages. So all the languages we do support, you can find them in our filtering areas, so master data that we collect. And here we said, okay, why not offer the customers the option to select the languages we should consider? Because I'm quite sure, or maybe you can correct me, you're not using more than 2 languages in the cloud ALM, most likely. But we are good at it. We collect 10 if we can. So hence, this is something which we are working on in the auto-discovery improvements to react a little bit more so that you can tailor it, that you can react to it. And otherwise, I would always say stay tuned, because there's a lot more that we could do where we have ideas, and we always try to have a little bit open space so that you now can start using the custom processes, we collect your feedback, and then can also incorporate this next year then for further things. So now I'm at the summary. I guess I'm quite good in time. And let's see. So with the business process monitoring, we provide an end-to-end view of your business, and we help you then also to react to potential critical situation. The potential is in here. It's on you to judge how critical something is. We cannot say if 10 open sales documents are critical or 10,000. This depends a little bit on you. But we offer you the tools that you can react, and we will also think about what we can do. So it's potential critical situations, can also be good situations, because if there's a high demand, you can do more, you can offer more, and it depends. Then the next point is, and this is a motivation, so get started. You always have the predefined KPIs, and there's on top also the option that you bring your own KPIs in. And last but not least, where you can always find information, this is now our expert portal, as well as in the application help. So you can see it on the one hand side embedded in our tenant, as well as in the help portal. And whenever we do get feedback, when we learn something from you, from a case that is reaching us, we try to incorporate it. We also then add blogs and what you can do to know what we recently released, what you can work on in the What's New area. Not sure if you already have seen that button. There's a subscribe option. I also love this one, because then I have an email in my inbox when there's something newly delivered, and then I can check out, for example, what my colleagues also delivered. So it's something where you can very easily stay tuned to, on what we are working. Last but not least, there's a thank you slide. If we missed anything here, or there's something we should work on, we should consider in our roadmap, there's also an influence program open where you can always bring in things. I read through all the influence requests I got. I'm inspired, I take it away, and I'm smiling because I already spotted a few of your requests and also the faces to the request, and this is amazing. And with this, I guess in general, we are always open for feedback, so you can also rate this session, tell us, shall we come again to the stage? Or maybe come again and do something else. So just use it, share feedback, and we are here around today, tomorrow, answering your questions.
Absolutely.
And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.